Well, it's Thanksgiving week. I could talk about my primary obsession, which is football, especially considering that this week is the biggest, most important, significant rivalry in the history of American sports between my Michigan Wolverines and those cheating Buckeyes down in Columbus. But nobody wants to hear me rant about that for 5 minutes, so I will refrain. Instead, I kind of want to talk about something that Mike brought up in his first vlog post. He mentioned that he was Roman Catholic, and I think he's mentioned something to the effect of how some people don't really like that term. Well, in my next vlog after that, I mentioned that I really hate that term, Roman Catholic. And I kind of want to spend this vlog to kind of discuss why. And no offense, Mike, no offense to you whatsoever. Just kind of want to give my perspective on that. The term Roman Catholic is a huge pet peeve of mine because, first of all, the religion's not Roman, it's Catholic. If you look at any Catholic documents, any official documents, it's always referred to as Catholicism or Catholic. It's never referred to as Roman Catholic or the Roman Catholic Church. If you look at the origins of those terms, it was actually came into widespread use in the 19th century by Anglicans. It initially had a derogatory sense to it, because the Anglicans called us papists and popists and Romanists, and they started calling us Roman Catholic. So that's the first reason I don't like that term, is because it has initial derogatory connotations to it. The second thing is that it's just theologically incorrect. Like I said, the Catholic Church never refers to itself as Roman Catholic or the Roman Catholic Church. The Catholic Church is comprised of many rites. You have the Latin rite, which is more predominant in the West and in Europe. You have other Western rites as well, like the Mozarabic rite and some other rites. And what a rite is, it's just a liturgical tradition within the greater Catholic tradition. So all these rites believe the exact same thing. They just kind of have different masses and different kind of prayer traditions and stuff like that. Like I said, the prominent one is the Latin rite, which becomes associated with Roman Catholicism. But Catholicism also includes a lot of Eastern rites, like the Melkite rite, the Byzantine rite, the Malabar and Malankar rites out in India. So it has all these traditions, and it's not really fair to call it Roman Catholic when so much of it is not Roman, not even Western. It's universal, which is where we get the term Catholic from. Also, like I said, it's theologically incorrect. The Anglicans of the 19th century, I think it was the beginning of the Oxford movement. John Henry Cardinal Newman was one of the proponents of, when he was still an Anglican, of what was called the Media Via, or Media Via. Let me say that in classical Latin, because I hate ecclesiastical pronunciation of Latin. He called it the Media Via, the middle road. They saw Anglicanism as the middle way between the perceived excesses of Catholicism and the subtractions of Protestantism. So they thought Anglicanism was this middle road that was a more pure version of Christianity. And they said, okay, well, we believe that that the Christian Church has to have continuity with the Church that Christ established 2,000 years ago. Obviously, the Catholic Church has that continuity through its bishops and the succession of bishops. So does the Orthodox Church, and they're like, okay, well, we're going to say that the original Catholic Church had split. So the Anglicans devised this system where you had this original Catholic Church, and that in 1054 it split between what they called the Roman branch and the Orthodox Catholic branch, and that however many years later, 500 years later, in 1523, the Anglican or English branch split off. So you have one Catholic Church, but three branches of it: Anglican, Roman, and Orthodox. Which is theologically incorrect according to Catholic teaching, because there's only one Catholic Church. And let me just reiterate, I don't really take a narrow view of what the Catholic Church is. The Catholic Church is a communion, so yeah, the official Catholic Church is what I consider the head to be the Pope, but I consider all Christians and all believers to have some sort of level of communion with that church and to be a part of Catholicism, whether they believe it or not, and so does the church itself. So that's why I hate that term.